What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another playthrough of a game called the Stanley Parable. It's been around for quite a while. I saw some gameplay on it and looked pretty decent. From what I understand, there's a guy, he tells you what to do and you can either listen to him or don't listen to him. I don't really know how it ends. I only watched a little bit, then I'm like, hey, I want to buy this game, I want to play this game. I bought it a while ago when Steam was having an amazing sale, but I just never played it. But now I'm hoping to play it, I guess. Whatever. Hope you guys do enjoy. If you do enjoy, leave a like, comment, tell me what games you want to see, what games you want me to change, what games you want me to keep playing, whatever. Alright, let's do it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I wouldn't be happy with that.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where's the meeting room? I'm assuming it's just this way.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let a ball up inside you, take it out past zinc. This is interesting, dude. Using sites to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your site has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. Everyone is unique, you most of all. Makes sense. Can I open this? Oh, I can.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Can I take like a... Can I actually take a broom or something? No, can't do anything productive like that. Can't sweep. Someone's got to sweep. Can I shut the doors behind me?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna walk downstairs and see what happens. He said downstairs, right?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why
Did I not
couldn't he
just come
see
through
his
here?
feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
What is up with this, dude?
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I think I lost. I'm very bad at games. This is like Emily is Away all over again. Yeah, I lost. Okay, do it again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Blah, blah, blah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There are no other doors, right? Alright, we're going on the left. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Words of wisdom right there. Well, we're not going to open the broom closet this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we're going upstairs this time because downstairs was miserable. What's here? Nope. Ooh. This is nice. But where is my boss? Is this my boss? I gotta use the lavatory. Alright, I guess I have to go here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I think my boss is screwing with me. Look, this is a camera. I'm on one of those punk TV shows. This guy has a nice office. Dang, man.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 28. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
That's why everything just
He
locked
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Can I play the piano? What happens if I don't? What happens if I just walk out this way? Can't. That answers that question. I don't think we're in my workplace anymore. Alright, guess we're going downstairs. This game is actually interesting. I am enjoying this.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
So I wonder if there are just different endings to this game or whatever. Like
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. I'll do it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I can't go back now. Well, oh my lord. It's like Darth Vader gonna appear and we're just gonna battle it out right now.
Now
Cameras.
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Where's my camera? I don't even remember what number I am.
No. He refused to believe it.
Thought it was
He couldn't
627,
accept
but
it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Government, man.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Where are we going?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Now, how do I do that? There's a lot of buttons. I think he's making a cool tune. How do I do this? I don't know. Buttons didn't do anything.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible...
What just happened? I was supposed to do that, wasn't I?
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
I'm like moving, but I can't see.
Yes.
I get some lights.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps
the slowest door ever.
The only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
But I mean, is that my choice?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation.
I won a game,
the immense
finally.
Possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
But he was just unhappy because he wanted his job, but now he's happy again. Interesting. We're gonna do a quick...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think I'm actually gonna stop that here and then do another video, maybe a shorter video of a couple ways of me not following it after I actually beat it. So if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe, as everything I said in the beginning, and catch you guys next time. Adios.